Hello. I just got off the phone with a friend and we were talking about something I thought was worth sharing. First of all, bear with me today. I have a chronic pain condition and sometimes I do a really good job of managing it. Sometimes it flares up and today is one of those days. So if I seem low energy and not my usual animated self, that's why I say it with animations. I was talking to a friend. We were checking in about a couple of things, and they mentioned how sometimes they're just having a moment where they just are bawling all day, and nothing necessarily triggers it. They just wake up and are feeling really heavy and a lot of feelings. And I'm sharing this because this is something I deeply resonate with. I had a Facebook memory come up today about a really pivotal moment in my life 5 years ago today that arose that really helped start me on my healing journey, like genuinely being radically honest about what I was feeling and what I was experiencing and starting to work through the traumas and abuses and situations that I had experienced throughout my life at that point. And I remember feeling like an exposed nerve all of the time, constantly feeling raw, constantly feeling activated, a small slight of change in plans, and I was not as versatile or adaptable as I would have been. I remember, so I belly dance, and I remember there was an event that I was performing at, and I didn't get to do the main event earlier that month, but I was doing this satellite event, and I had this whole costume that I paid lots of money for, put a lot of hours into building and whatnot, and I remember hanging it up by the door so I wouldn't forget it, and when I opened the door it covered up that costume, so I forgot it when I was walking out the door. And when it was time to get dressed, I realized I didn't have my costume, and normally I'd be like go into full problem solving mode, but because I was really doing like this deep healing work, I was just letting things come up, I fell apart. I couldn't problem solve. I couldn't think straight. All I could think of was there was a lot of negative self-talk about how stupid it was that I did that. How could I forget? How was it not obvious to me? How could I be so irresponsible and unprepared? And I realized later that was really not my script, but a script that my parents imposed on me when I was a little girl and would make a mistake, and they would go, you need to be prepared. This is not responsible. Act more grown up, and so on and so forth. So I just had like this loop of their voices berating me, and thank goodness I had friends that rose to the occasion and held and supported me and let me fall apart and helped me rebuild a costume so that I could still dance and perform at the event. And that was amazing. I was so grateful to have people to just support and sit with me and met me where I was in that moment. And I remember one woman saying to me, I was like, I don't know who I am. Like, I don't know, like I was bawling the rest of the day, even though like it resolved and it was fine. Like it wasn't the end of the world. Everybody came together and helped me out. I was still feeling really awful afterwards, and I just couldn't stop crying and I couldn't stop hurting about it. And this woman said to me, I was like, I don't know who this is. I am not somebody who just breaks down and bawls. Like, I am a problem solver. I am solution oriented. This is my identity. Like, this is somebody who fixes things, somebody who's curious, somebody who's adaptable, somebody who is adventurous, somebody who goes with the flow. And in this moment, the person that I was not cohering with my idea of my identity. And she says to me, no, because you're not that person anymore. You have to get to know like who you are now in this moment. I did not like hearing that. I'll be perfectly honest. It was a mind blown, and also, no, I don't want to be like that. I want to go back to who I was, but you can't go back. There is nothing in our nature that allows us to go back. And the reality is that we need to embrace what is, love what is here, be in this present moment, and proceed forward. We are always being guided forward, not backwards. We cannot go back and change what happened. We can only embrace that version of ourselves from then, that person that we were then, that little person that we were, love ourselves through what it was experienced, and move forward. So when we're doing this deep healing work and loving what is and being present with the arising, you're going to begin to notice that you're maybe more tired. Maybe you need more downtime than you did before. Maybe you notice that emotions, like for example, crying for no reason, seems to happen more frequently. This is all completely normal. Because when we start to develop systems of safety, that version of ourselves, our being, that our bodies that did not feel safe in those moments, created shields to survive. As we start to relax those shields, we start to feel safe to actually feel what we needed to feel in those moments. We weren't able to feel that immense sorrow or that immense anger or the hurt because we didn't have space to. We had a mission to survive. And so that's what we did. We zipped all those feelings up, but they don't go away. When you zip up, when you suppress, when you put your feelings aside, it's sort of like your to-do list. When you don't get everything on your to-do list done, it's still there to do the next day. Your feelings are the same. What you're not feeling now, what you've put aside before, is still there. It still needs to be addressed. It still needs to be felt through and experienced and held and loved. That can be really scary by yourself, but you don't have to do it by yourself. There are so many modalities to help you discover safety, to help you navigate intense emotions. This is what I make my living doing. I love my zone of genius is helping you create zones of safety within yourself so that you feel empowered to experience what you need to experience so that you can transform and expand. That is what I love to do. So I have some options. I have my one-on-one burnout recovery coaching. Even if you don't believe you're suffering corporate burnout, let's have a conversation. I would love to help you live the life that you desire. That is my biggest wish for you. And if you're looking for just a little bit of somatic support every month to help you make it through the week, I have my upcoming breathwork club, a fucking hour of relief, which is what I want you to experience, an hour of relief every month rather. And there will be journaling support and somatic support throughout the weeks between calls. I'm so excited about that. And then, of course, in February, my reset program, we will be addressing how to create space for habits that we want to start in the new year. So I love you, and I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you're just feeling a little heavier than normal, that's totally okay. There is support, there is love for you. There is safety in feeling these feelings. So thank you for tuning in.